Hello guys, welcome to another lecture with Urban Planning Studio Hub. On this lecture, I would like to show us how we could create a Surpervise classified imagery using Sentinel-2 10 meters land use land cover satellite imagery. You can see here on my screen I actually have a shapefile, which is actually a vector data set of Australia as a continent, and I have here with the colors the geotiff raster image. Actually that's the satellite imagery. It's actually superimposed. I actually downloaded it for a particular section of Australia. You can remember that in my previous video I actually showed us how we could easily download the satellite imagery. I'll be dropping the link in the description box where you can just hit and then follow up with the tutorial that showed how to download the satellite imagery. And secondly, I actually have another video that showed how we could download the shapefile of any region of the world or area of interest in the world. I'll actually also drop that, and then you hit on the link to directly link you to where you can actually download that. So in this video I'll try to use ArcGIS and then upload these two data sets, and then we'll see how we could be able to select a few districts out of the region of Victoria in Australia and use them as our case study to see how we could create a supervised classified imagery. So before we go there, I would like to take it on a tour on my desktop. You can see here that I have a folder called Sentinel-2 SAT imagery. Let's turn it open. You can actually see that here the first is showing 55H. This H simply means that this 55H simply means that is the zone. The entire globe is actually divided into letters from letter C to letter X, and then from number 1 to 60, where we could readily locate geographical settings on the X surface. And to my right here is a zip folder called Australia Administrative. This is an administrative boundary that actually divides Australia the way it is in a physical form and in real time. So what we'll be doing first here is we'll be unzipping this Australia administrative, then we'll add it up on our ArcGIS, and then we'll see how we'll take off from this. So what I will do, I'll click on this, right click, and then extract here, unzipped. Some of them come in Microsoft Excel format, and other comes in ArcGIS, and others AutoCAD format. So next I'll head straight to my ArcGIS. So if you observe here, you see that we actually have an untitled map. So what we'll do first is to just save it, so that we'll save the issue of doing multiple work. So what I'll do is I'll go to my this PC, then under this I'll locate download and locate this Sentinel-2 SAT.imagery. It's actually different from Sentinel-2 imagery. I'll double left click on this and then type in let's just call it Australia, and then you save it. This is very important, so that we're coming back to this stage, we actually get our file to our desktop. So the next step is to add up the data under the standard toolbar. I'll still locate that Sentinel-2. Look at this, actually here under my downloads. My PC is actually inverted, and my desktop is under downloads at times. Okay, so yours is on your desktop, so you just go to your desktop. Through this place you can locate your desktop here, or you can simply connect to folder and then hit on desktop, or go to this PC. Under the PC you get your desktop. Okay, but for me, on my PC, I'll just go to this PC, then I have to come to downloads and then search for Sentinel-2 dot imagery. Then I click and then I add an OK. Then it brings me to this place. So what I'll be selecting, hit hold control. I'll be selecting Australia Administrative 2, Administrative 1, and then Australia raster. This is actually raster, vector, and vector data format. I'll add them up and allow them to load. So the first thing to do in order not to forget is to uncheck the vector data, and then we'll focus on the raster. Now when you zoom in, you can see that this is actually the image directly from Sentinel-2, And when I actually saved this, I showed us in the previous video, this actually, when you're downloading it, you have the color scheme under the menu. You can see that this is actually the true color. So what we'll be doing next here is simply trying to access the symbology, and then to see how we can create the attribute table data set. Now when I left click and right click, you'll see that the attribute table is fainted. Means this raster image doesn't have an attribute table, but ArcGIS can actually help us to compute the attribute table. So what I'll do is I'll go to property. Okay, before I just do that, let me show something. When you hit on the cross arrow, you can see the drop down. We actually have some symbology from number 0 to 255. So let's close it back. What we're trying to do is that we're trying to reduce this actually where the satellite actually captures the dark area, but it's not manifested on the map. So what we'll be doing is we'll look at how we can reduce this back to the scale of 1 to 11. It depends on the imagery and what your GIS can compute. So I'll reduce this, right click, then go to property, then I'll go to come to symbology. Under symbology, I'll come to unique value in order to create the attribute table. So I'll left click on it. It pops up a notification saying that raster attribute table doesn't exist. Do you want to build a raster attribute table? I'll click on yes. Now it depends on the PC. Mine it's actually slow, so we allow it to load. Okay, now the process is complete. The next step is to in order for it to be careful, after it shows up this, it has reduced actually the symbology to 11, but don't make the mistake of applying here. If not, it will change the true color of the Sentinel-2 satellite imagery. So what we'll do is actually to come to the color map and apply the initial. But supposing you make the mistake of clicking apply or OK, I'll show us. You can see that the image have actually been distorted. And when you come back to the Sentinel color, what do you call it, color image here, excuse me, here you can see actually that it's deviating from what actually we started. So what you do is simply you right click, go back to the symbology, you come to color map and apply, okay, and then you apply okay, it comes back. But what you've achieved is that you have actually created the attribute table. Once you open it, you see it's numbered from number 1 to 11, meaning that it actually picks where it senses different color format. You can see that 3 is being skipped, and then 6 as well. It's only picking a single color format. So that works perfectly for Sentinel-2 imagery. Okay, so let's quickly see what we'll do next. So what we'll do next is to uncheck this. Okay, then we'll click on Australia 1, and then we'll check for the attribute table is present. Then we want to see actually Australia as a continent is divided into 12 territories. Sorry, 11, though some of them are called territory and state. So what we'll do, we'll activate the label feature, and we'll go to the label under the data, under the property, sorry, and then we'll turn off the setting to name 1_1, so that we can be able to see these names. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll right click and go to label feature and activate it. You can see Australia is labeled all through the continent. This is default. So what I'll do, I'll come back here, right click, go to property, and then come to label, allow it to open. Then we come to name 1 to apply and OK. So it has actually applied that. So you are allowed to process a little while. You can see the names. This is Australia, this is New South Wales, Australian Capital Territory. Okay, so let's uncheck our satellite imagery. You can see that is actually not complete because of the portion we selected. We selected just a particular portion for our case study. So the next thing to do is to clip this Victoria because it's a state. So what we'll do, we come to select here, and I'll select by rectangle. I'll click on Australia, then come to my geoprocessing. Okay, allow it to open. Then we'll actually locate clip and then clip that study area. Then we come to clip and select the study area by clipping. So we are clipping Australia admin 1. So I go on admin 1 as the input feature. Like then we click feature, select admin 1, and then for the output feature class I always select so I will come to, it's actually arranged serially. So I'll be typing Victoria, and then I hit on save, and then I OK it. So allow it to process. It's clipping actually selected, so we can uncheck Australia admin 1, and you can see it's actually not completely because our raster is selected lopsidedly. Okay, so the next step, okay, in case you're having a question that, okay, what if I want to complete raster to cover the Victoria state, all you need to do is to download the next one to it, and then you add it up. They'll be meshed together automatically. So I will check Australia admin 1 and then uncheck Victoria. Oh, sorry, not 1, 2 rather. Then you can see that these are actually the districts. So what I'll quickly do, I'll access the attribute table. This is actually the territory and the state, these are actually the districts or the municipalities or the county. So it's under name 2. So I repeat the same process. I come to label feature activating, right click, you can see Australia is defaulted. I'll come to property. It's actually going to take me back to label where I can actually select name 2 to show me those the actual name for the districts, or we call them the municipalities, or we call them the county. So we'll wait for it to load. Now we come to name 2 and apply. Okay, so remember that we've actually created the feature class for this raster, the Australian raster. So the next thing is to do is we are going to be selecting this district. We'll be selecting it by maxing rather than clipping, because we want to clip the attribute table. We want to max off the attribute table. So let's go to select again. I'll be selecting maybe 5, maybe this from this island. So I'll hold on shift, select 1, select 2, and type max and enter. Now we have intersecting layer max, we have feature outline max. I'll actually go to extract by max spatial analyst. I'll left click, and then a window will pop up where it will be asking for input. So I input raster. The raster is this 55H. So 55H, I left click, then input raster or feature max. I'll be adding up the admin 2 because we're under admin 2. Then for my output, I'll select a folder under the same Sentinel. But you have to be careful when you're accessing that folder. So I've hit here. So what I'll do, I'll type area of interest as AOI, and then I hit on save, and then you can see it's under this folder. I hit on OK. So it's actually going to process. So wait for it to process, and automatically give us out our area of interest. Then from there we can do some little setup of the symbology. to make sure the symbology for this area of interest is actually in line with that of raster image, which we downloaded directly from ESRI. That's the Sentinel-2 10 meters land use land cover imagery data source. So allow the maxing to complete. Just be patient. Okay guys, we are back. You can see that our maxed area of interest is fitting properly on our initial original raster image too. So what we'll do now is to try to see how we'll balance up the setup. So what we'll be using is first of all, I would like us to go to our web, visit the Sentinel-2 portal, then maybe zoom to your that very study area. Then the menu here, we'll click in the menu in order to see the color combinations. So I think our study area is within this region. Let's see. Yeah, it's within this region, these two islands. So what we'll be doing now is, you can see when we zoom in, you can see the property. You can see you can see it very clearly, the symbology. You can see that the green hairs for trees and the blue hairs for the water body. You have the yellow for the crop. You have the shrubs. We have the flooded vegetation. So you have to come back in order for you to properly name the layers. So let's go back to our ArcGIS. Now here, based on what we're having here, number one is our water. So what we'll do is that, in order not to waste time, let's just click on blue. Let's look for a blue color for water. Water is blue. Then this is okay. You apply. Then don't check this here until we are done with what we are doing. 2 is green, based on this original imagery. So let's look for a green, a bit dark green, a little. Maybe we can adjust this. Okay, to tune it. Then it skips to 4. 4 is actually the color. Okay, let's see it. I think this should be the type of color. Anyways, we'll be able to identify that. Okay, I think no, this is too sharp. Or another way, you can actually come to the, before you left click, you go to colors, go to more colors, and then pick the RGB code. It's actually 122, 135, and 198. So we can do that. So let's do just that. So come back to number 5 under RGB. If yours under HSB, you have to change it. So let's call it 122, 135, and 198. Okay, this is better, matches better. Now the next step is to go to 7. Okay, sorry, I should have done that for 4. Okay, so let's repeat it: 122, 135, and 198. Guys, you have to be careful, it's very tricky here. Then for this 5 is yellowish, turn it to be yellowish too. I think this yellow is fine. Okay, then number 8 is somewhat gray. Oh, okay, 7 first. 7 is red, so let's any red will do before we do the proper naming. Then number 8 is this 8 and 10 are looking similar, so what we'll do is come to this 8 and then pick the color code. It's 165, 155, and 143. So you should be writing this code somewhere. 165, 155, 143. So let's go back. close this. That should be 10, 165, 155, and 143. So apply it. Then for 11, we have it as, let's pick the color code too. We have 227, 226, and 195. Okay, so let's close this and pick the color code. So we call this 225, 226, and then 195. Sorry, is it 195? Yeah, 195. And then this should be 226. It's quite trickish. So the next step we'll be doing now is to let's uncheck this. Then this is now a study area, you can see it. So what we'll be doing now, you go to your web, that's Sentinel-2, you try to zoom in to see the details properly. Now we have to match up the colors. We have this place is dominantly green with a little of built up, and then we have the scrubland around this region. So let's see if this actually the same growth we are having. So you see the green is green here, and so if the green is green, so we have confirmed. So what we do, left click here, right click, we go to property, then we come to the value here, and then what we will do is click here and type in just the way it is here. Then come back again, it's trees, because the dominant green is trees. So I'll be typing trees here for number 2. So I'll type trees. Okay, sorry, trees. Then I'll go back again to my web, Sentinel. Then I'll actually check anything bluish here is my water body. So I can confirm to type in water here, water. Then I'll still go back to my web. Then I'll look at this region. We actually have flow. I think this is grass. We have the grass, and then we have the shrub or scrub. So let's go and see. Let's go to ArcGIS thing. So actually this is the one that's showing white. So the portion showing white on our layers, I think, is 11. So 11 ideally, based on what you're having on the web, 11 here that is dominant should be our grass. So you can see, let's type in grass. We'll be affecting the colors. Okay, then the next step is, the next step is to check this area. This one that is looking this bluish like this, I think is the one we saw on the web as, let me zoom, as our flooded vegetation. You can see it, the color is matching. So we'll come back and investigate. 4 should be flooded vegetation. So we'll type in flooded vegetation. Then we'll go back to our imagery on the web. Then we also have this region. You can see this color is matching with our shrub or scrubs. So let's come back here and see. Okay, you can actually apply, and then you click OK for now, so that you'll be able to zoom in these places very properly. Now you know that we're having okay, this is flooded, these are flooded, this is trees, this is water. Then okay, so it means we have checked this. Let me go back. Okay, what we're actually looking for is the scrub. So let's see. this should be the scrub. It is quite tricky. You have to take your time to do this properly. Okay, we're having the scrub and also the flooded vegetation together. Okay, so we have our flooded vegetation already, and we also have our I think this should be the grass. Okay guys, actually I'm finding it difficult to locate my what do you call it, let's come back here. I'm finding it difficult to locate my scrub, so what I will do, I'll just readily go to the others. Let's look for crop. I think 5 is crop, and then build up is 7, build area is 7. So let's quickly do that. So right click, come to property, under unique value, continue. Let's call this crop, let's call this build area, and then let's see for 8 and then 10. Okay, you can apply. You can see we're almost there. So for this color, that's color 8, we have to zoom in carefully to search for it. You can see that this color 8 here is another blue, but it's more of like a sky blue. So what we do is come back here, you take note of the location you zoomed in after the second after this what do you call it, this island. Then that's where you can find this this sky blue within this region here. You can see the shape here. So let's come here to search for it. So I'll zoom out, then I'll come here. Okay, I zoom in. I think this is the region. Okay, I'm trying to locate the sky blue. Okay, it's quite difficult to do this, and the more you take time to do it, the more accurate your result will be. Let's see, shouldn't this be okay? Look at it here. No, that's not the one. The blue is already our water, but this sky blue now is what I'm trying to look for. So maybe let's check this. Okay, it's also the same. Let me uncheck this. Okay, it's actually the gray. Okay, that's helping us a lot. This area is actually the gray. Let's see it. Let's come back to the web. I think this should be the areas. These are areas here. So I think this area is similar to our, is it the shrub? Let's see that. I think, okay, we're not having shrub here. So I think this number is tallying with 10. So 10 should be our shrub. So we come to property, and then I go to 10. I type in shrub. So we're left with the number 8 now, which is the last. Okay, so I apply. Now let's look for this 8 again. Actually under this, I think, okay, sorry, here the 8 is actually fainted. It's the 10 that is darker, so the 8 should be our shrub. Okay, the 8 should be our shrub. Okay, so sorry, so let's go back. It's quite taxing to do this actually. So type is a shrub. Then for 10 we'll apply. For 10 we're going to look for 10 now. Now the 10 area is the darkest area. Now let's come back here. You have to be comparing both. So from what we're having here, the darkest area here Okay, I don't want to include it as snow. Okay, but I think it should tally with our it should tally with that. This 10 should tally with bare. We're not having bare ground. Let me check something. Let's come back here and see. For bare ground, it's actually difficult to view that. Okay, you have some bare ground here. Okay, we have bare ground within this area. So let's go back. Okay, let me search to see if I can get bare ground. I believe it's okay. Let me check this. Check this back. Okay, we're talking about this area here, and we're looking for this gray, or maybe let me turn it black so that you'll be able to visualize it easily. You can see that on the image over there, it's actually difficult to even see the background too. So you have to be careful in order not to make flimsy mistakes. So what will we do? Let's just give 10 to be our bare. Okay, but in your research you have to be thorough. So let's call this bare. Okay, then enter and apply. So we have successfully structured. We've tried to label them according to what is obtainable live here on the Sentinel-2 LULC. So the next step to do is, if you want to make it to appear like this, you actually to appear like the Landsat, the Sentinel-2 color code. What you do is just to come to the original raster, you left click, you come to this symbology here, then you pick the color code, which is 65.155.223. Okay, so let me do that for water. So I'll type in 65.155 and then 223, and then apply OK. You can see it's adjusting. Then for the trees, that's number 2. Please access the color. You have 57.125.73. You can now close. Repeat the same process. You can do that for everything, all of the symbologies here. So you have 125, and then we have 73. Now you can see. So when you superimpose this, when we check this, you can see that it's actually matching with what is on the imagery here, the original. So what I'll be doing is I'll be completing this, use the same procedure to complete all these orders. Okay, I want to take note that at the process of maxing, the GIS actually ran this area of interest without actually picking 9, and 9 actually here on our imagery is the flooded vegetation, but we don't have time for that. What it simply means that you have to rerun the maxing again with a different name, and then you should be able to pick up this, or you turn off your ArcGIS and go back in and repeat the process of maxing, because it takes a lot of time to max. Okay, so what I'll be doing, I'll complete the color matching so that we can be able to save this work in no time. Okay, so I'll catch you up very soon. Okay guys, welcome back. So I actually did some processes. I did some coloring, but you can see that I tried to change them. This is because this 11 actually is the grassland here, but in the original image as we imported it, the color was changed to white, I think. So I think we are done with this. We'll be using this to save our work now. So the interesting thing to know is that the most important thing to do is to actually map in the correct data. However, this is a satellite imagery. This is what we call accuracy assessment and ground truthing. It means this image is subject to ground truthing in order to actually get the true details about the land cover. However, we use a satellite imagery for a lot of analysis. So I think I will try to make a video to cover this particular area. where we can actually do the ground truthing. And then also in a nutshell, what I want to do is that you can actually, to make this map look outstanding, you can actually do some to changes. The yellow, maybe let's take it to the more pronounced yellow. I think this will do. Then for our build up, let's take it to something more. Okay, for the value here, what you do to rename it, you left click on it once, you left click again, then let's call it land use land cover. Let's call it 2021, or let me just call it Victoria district. It depends on the local authority, the name, the type of county. Let's call it Victoria District 2021 LULC. That is okay. Then you can see that all these layers is the only one that is checked. This is because I just need just this for my layout and my legend. Sorry, I go to insert, hit on legend. You can see it's the only one, so I'll multiply click. Then it's going to create the legend. I've actually shown us how we could actually export maps too. So I just want to show the legend, and then we'll be concluding the lectures for today. So that we can have time to go through this. Okay, then I'll hit on finish. It's processing. This is actually a technical aspect of creation of image supervised classified imagery. So let's be patient, it's going to load, it's coming up. You know, the area is quite large, so it takes time to, you know, to do this. So you can actually let this be here, maybe do some little adjustments, and then I believe that is that. So I've shown us how to also include our true north and all that. So I have videos on my YouTube channel there on Urban Planning Studio Hub, so you can follow suit to see how you could do the rest. But guys, I want to terminate these lectures here. So this tutorial is going to rather this lecture is going to continue in the next video. I'll be doing a video on how we can convert this raster to polygons, and after converting it to polygons, we will now see how we could actually do some creation of area in square meters or maybe hectares. Then we could save our work and then maybe take it to Excel, or from here we can directly plot our bar graphs, or maybe do some scatter diagram. So guys, it was really fun having you on this one. Please do ensure you subscribe to my channel and like the videos, and also hit on the notification buttons. I'll really be grateful. So do stick to this channel, because there are a lot of exciting packages I have for us that I'll be working with in the future. So thank you guys, and make sure you're safe.